sister stole, her fiancé, and dress her bold, stand at dinner, shattered their lies. At 32, Lila's betrayal by her kin sparks a fierce fight to reclaim her life. Lila Harper, a 32-year-old event planner in Nashville, Tennessee, uncovered her sister's betrayal when she found her fiancé's secret dinner plans with her sibling. Her calculated confrontation at the restaurant unveiled their deceit, sparking a journey to reclaim her stolen life. My mornings are a whirlwind of creativity, brewing dark roast coffee, sketching venue layouts, and driving through Nashville's vibrant streets to my office at Southern Charm Events, where I orchestrate high-profile weddings and galas. My career crafting dreamlike experiences, mentoring junior planners has earned me a reputation, but to my family, I'm the dependable sister, eclipsed by my older sister, Tessa, their radiant star. Raised in our cozy Nashville craftsman home with its wraparound porch and blooming magnolias, Tessa, 5 years older, was the family's pride, charismatic, artistic, her every misstep excused. At family reunions, relatives fawned Tessa. "Your designs are breathtaking," or "that influencer vibe so bold I was the practical one." In tailored blouses, my event planning dismissed as busy work. Family photos framed Tessa's art exhibits, me a faint figure in the back, my achievements overlooked. I'd hoped my sacrifices late nights to fund college, volunteering at community centers would earn their admiration. Instead, I was serious, reserved, a shadow in Tessa's spotlight. Contact with family dwindled 2 years ago. No calls, no birthday texts. Just a void I masked with a tight smile when colleagues asked, "How's your family?" I'd say, "We're not tight," hiding the ache of being sidelined. The betrayal struck one humid July evening as I lounged in my apartment, sorting fabric swatches for a client's gala. My fiancé, Julian, was in the shower, humming softly, our Nashville loft filled with the quiet promise of our upcoming wedding. His phone pinged on the coffee table, a harmless chime I'd heard countless times. I didn't mean to look, but the screen faced me, and a gut instinct, sharp, undeniable, drew my eyes. The message preview stopped my heart. "Tessa, Friday, private booth at Sable." "She'll love it." My stomach twisted. Tessa, my sister, texting Julian about Sable, the upscale restaurant where he'd proposed to me last year. It had to be a mistake, a group plan I'd forgotten. But the sender was clear, the tone intimate. I reached for his phone, hands trembling, hesitating. I wasn't the snooping type. The passcode, still our anniversary, unlocked a parallel world. Their chat wasn't casual, it was a tapestry of betrayal dinner plans, inside jokes, mentions of late nights when Julian claimed work or travel. Then, a photo Tessa in my engagement dress, the ivory silk gown I'd chosen for our photo shoot, borrowed for her charity gala. She posed, one shoulder bare, smirking like she'd claimed more than fabric. I stared, time dissolving, the dress a symbol of my dreams, our wedding, our future now defiled. I didn't cry or scream. I set the phone back, walked to the kitchen, and poured water with steady hands, the cold glass grounding me. Betrayal didn't hit like a storm, it seeped like frost. I texted my best friend, Marcus, a lawyer and former flame. "You awake?" he replied instantly. "Always for you." I called, voice clinical reserve, a table at Sable, Friday, next to theirs. He paused, then agreed, done. I hung up, slipped into my office, and opened my leather journal, writing, "Let's see them face me," without flinching. Nashville's night hummed, my resolve igniting, their betrayal a spark I'd turn into a blaze. The weight of Julian's phone, its screen glowing with Tessa's betrayal, clung to me like damp Nashville air. My loft, with its exposed brick and coffee-scented warmth, felt like a stage for a play I hadn't rehearsed. I sat at my desk, the journal open, my mantra, "Let's see them face me," etched in black ink, underlined thrice. Tessa's photo in my engagement dress, her smirk, Julian's secret texts, looped in my mind, each detail a shard in my chest. I'd planned our wedding with joy ivory silk, magnolia bouquets, yet they'd woven a parallel narrative, stealing my dreams while I slept. Sleep eluded me, the loft's quiet amplifying my racing thoughts. Since meeting Julian 3 years ago at a client gala, I'd built a life around us shared dinners, weekend hikes, plans for a family. Tessa, always the family's darling, had teased my dress as modest when I lent it for her charity event, her charm masking envy. Growing up, she'd claimed the spotlight her art shows celebrated, my academic awards ignored. Mom's, Tessa's sensitive, excused her tantrums, while my steadiness was expected, not praised. I'd given Tessa $2,000 for rent, $1,500 for art supplies, skipping my own needs new laptops, vacations thinking family meant sacrifice. Now, her texts with Julian Friday, private booth revealed a calculated theft of my future. I called Marcus again, his voice a lifeline. Tables set, next to theirs, discreet. I nodded, though he couldn't see, and planned my approach no tears, no screams, just presence. I'd wear black, understated but commanding, and face them at Sable, where Julian proposed, now their stage for deceit. The next day, work at Southern Charm Events was a blur coordinating a senator's gala, sketching table layouts, but my focus wavered, Tessa's smirk haunting me. I'd lent her my Louboutin heels, my college books, my trust, each borrowed item unreturned, a pattern I'd ignored. Mom's voice, "You're too sensitive from childhood," echoed, her favoritism a wound reopened. I drove to Radnor Lake, the trail's serenity calming my storm. Memories surged, canceling a spa day to fund Tessa's $1,000 portfolio, working overtime for Mom's $2,000 medical bill. I'd been their anchor, yet they'd erased me. I journaled, they stole my dress, my love, my story. I'll rewrite it. Marcus met me for coffee, his steady gaze grounding, "You're not alone." Lila. I bought a new sketchbook, drawing Sable's booth, plotting my entrance. Doubts crept in, would I falter but their betrayal? Tessa's photo in my dress hardened my resolve. Nashville's dusk glowed, my sketches sharp, my heart set on reclaiming my place. Friday's humid Nashville evening pressed against my skin as I stepped into Sable, the restaurant's dim lighting casting an intimate glow. My black sheath dress hugged my frame, understated yet powerful, a stark contrast to the ivory engagement gown Tessa had stolen. The maitre d', with a knowing nod, led me to table 12 where Marcus waited, his navy blazer crisp, his smile warm, "Not letting you do this alone." Lila. His hand, firm and grounding, steadied me as I sat, a glass of crisp Sauvignon Blanc already waiting. I sipped, the wine's bite sharpening my focus, my mantra echoing face betrayal without flinching. At 7:12, Julian entered, his familiar tousled hair and nervous hunch a painful reminder of our shared nights. He scanned the room, oblivious to me, 10 feet away. Then Tessa swept in, her confident stride and radiant smile a performance, wearing my Louboutin stilettos, unreturned from her client dinner. They slid into their booth, bodies close, her laugh at his words a knife to my heart. Marcus muttered, "They're rehearsed," his voice low, but I was transfixed, memorizing their intimacy, her lean toward him, his hand near her thigh. I stood, wineglass in hand, and took the long route past their booth, feigning a restroom trip. Returning, I locked eyes with Tessa, her smile collapsing, her face paling. Julian turned, jaw dropping, shock etching his features. I paused, voice velvet. "Tessa, you remember Marcus? Right?" Marcus rose, a silent pillar, his nod polite but cold. "And you?" I turned to Julian, forgot I see everything. Tessa's mouth opened, then closed. Julian stammered, "Lila." "What's this?" I tilted my head. "Just dinner, like you." I signaled the maitre d'. "Can we join these tables?" He complied, merging our spaces with a clink of silverware. I sat, Marcus beside me, Tessa and Julian opposite, their stiffness palpable. Silence suffocated the table until Julian tried, "It's not what you think, Lila." I was going to talk, I cut him off, soft but firm. "Don't rewrite history for me." Tessa exhaled, crossing her legs. "It's not betrayal, just a connection we couldn't ignore." I met their eyes, a connection built on my dress, my plans, my life. Their silence was my victory, Nashville's night humming outside, my resolve unshaken. The confrontation at Sable left a hollow ache. Tessa's connection excuse and Julian's stammering lies replaying as I drove home through Nashville's neon-lit streets. My loft, with its exposed brick and magnolia sketches, felt like a refuge, but the betrayal Tessa in my engagement dress, Julian's secret dinners clung like damp air. I opened my journal, the page from that night's Starkface betrayal without flinching. I'd done it, but the cost was a raw wound, exposing a lifetime of Tessa's rivalry, sanctioned by our family's favoritism. Growing up, Tessa was the family's golden child, her art shows and homecoming crowns celebrated, while my debate team wins and scholarships were shrugged off. At 16, I won a regional photography contest, my framed photo briefly on the mantel, only for Dad to replace it with Tessa's pageant portrait, saying it represented us better. I'd cried in the garage, music blaring to hide my sobs, writing in my diary, "I'm the background, she's the headline." Mom's Tessa's sensitive excused her tantrums while my reliability was expected, never praised. I'd lent Tessa $3,000 for art supplies, $2,000 for rent, skipping my own needs, new cameras, weekend trips thinking it was sisterhood. Her borrowing was a pattern my books, my heels, now my fiancé and dress. Julian's texts with her, planning dinners when he claimed work, revealed a year-long affair. Tessa's smirk in my gown, a deliberate claim on my life. I drove to Percy Warner Park, the trails quiet grounding my turmoil. Memories surged, canceling a spa day for Tessa's WOM 500 portfolio, working overtime for Mom's $2,000 medical bill. I'd been their rock, yet they'd erased me. I sketched the park's oaks, their roots my resolve, vowing to confront this history. Marcus met me for brunch, his steady presence a lifeline. "You're stronger than their lies." I bought a new journal, writing. Tessa stole my story, but I'll rewrite it. Work at Southern Charm was a blur planning a charity ball, but my focus sharpened, Tessa's betrayal a fire. Doubts lingered, could I face her again, but her photo, claiming my dress, my love, propelled me forward. Nashville's skyline glowed, my sketches fierce, my heart set on reclaiming my narrative. The confrontation at Sable left a jagged scar across my heart. Tessa's smug claim of a connection with Julian and his faltering excuses replaying like a bitter song in my Nashville loft. The exposed brick walls, adorned with magnolia sketches, and the faint aroma of dark roast coffee offered little solace against the storm within. My journal lay open, its pages crowded with jagged lines of broken bridges, each stroke capturing the raw betrayal Tessa in my engagement dress, Julian's secret dinners, their year-long affair mocking my trust. Clara's texts, revealing Tessa's cruel taunts, Lila clings like a puppy confirmed a calculated erasure, not just of my relationship, but of my entire identity. I needed answers, a deeper truth to anchor my next move. The morning after visiting Mom's house, where her defense of Tessa's chemistry and Tessa's casual use of my cherished book cut anew, I drove to Centennial Park, the Parthenon's grandeur a stark contrast to my inner chaos. Sitting on a bench, the summer air heavy with honeysuckle, I sifted through memories of Tessa's lifelong rivalry. At 15, I'd won a photography contest. My framed shot briefly celebrated until Dad swapped it for Tessa's pageant photo, claiming it fit the family better. I'd sobbed in the garage, music drowning my pain, writing in my diary, "I'm invisible. She's the star." Mom's, Tessa's sensitive, excused her selfishness while my reliability was taken for granted. I'd lent Tessa $3,000 for art supplies, $2,000 for rent, skipping my own dreams a new camera, a weekend retreat thinking it was sisterhood. Now, her wearing my Louboutins, living at Mom's, planning a wedding with my fiancé, revealed a pattern of theft, not borrowing. Clara's messages, spanning a year of Tessa's affair, were a gut punch, but they hinted at more financial deceit. I'd wired Tessa $18,000 2 years ago for a medical procedure, trusting her tears, no paperwork, only to see her move into a sleek apartment and pin wedding venues on Pinterest. Suspicion gnawed had she lied. I called Marcus, my lawyer friend, his voice steady. "Meet me tomorrow." "Bring everything." I gathered bank records, texts, and my journal, each entry a testament to my exploited trust. $1,500 for Mom's medical bills, $2,000 for Tessa's portfolio. At work, planning a senator's gala, my focus wavered, Tessa's smirk in my dress haunting me. Meeting Marcus at his firm, the leather-scented office grounded me. I handed over the $18,000 transfer receipt, his eyes narrowing. "No medical records, we'll dig." He suspected Tessa and Julian used it for her boutique, a hunch that twisted my stomach. I painted a burning magnolia, its flames my fury, vowing to uncover the full scope. Clara joined me for dinner, her support fierce. "You're not alone. Lila." I bought a new sketchbook, drawing Nashville's skyline, each line a promise to reclaim my story. Doubts crept in. Would Mom choose Tessa, but Clara's texts, Tessa's lies, propelled me. Nashville's dusk glowed, my resolve a quiet blaze, their betrayal no match for my truth. The discovery of Tessa's year-long affair with Julian, cemented by Clara's damning texts, was a wound that festered in my Nashville loft, its exposed brick and coffee aroma no longer soothing. My journal, filled with sketches of shattered oaks, bore witness to my resolve. They stole my love, my trust, my future. I'll take it back. The $18,000 I'd wired Tessa for a medical procedure, now suspect, loomed large her new apartment. Her Pinterest board of wedding venues suggested a deeper deceit. I met Marcus at his law firm, the leather-scented office a stark contrast to my turbulent heart. Sliding my folder of bank records across his desk, I said, "They used me. Marcus." "I need the truth." He reviewed the $18,000 transfer, eyes narrowing. No proof of surgery. Digging into Tessa's Boutique LLC, he found line 14 initial investor. LH, your signature, masked through Julian's shell firm. My breath caught they'd forged my name, using my money to fund her self-made empire, erasing my role. "You can sue," Marcus said, "but now they'll call you jealous. File a contribution notice to flag her business quietly." We crafted a plan. The notice would halt her expansion in public records, applying pressure without immediate litigation, keeping her off balance. I left, heart racing, empowered by strategy, not just anger. Back home, I painted a blazing river, its currents my determination. Work at Southern Charm Events was relentless, coordinating a museum gala, but my focus sharpened. Tessa's betrayal a catalyst. Memories surged. $3,000 for Tessa's art, $2,000 for Mom's bills, my savings drained for their whims. I journaled. They forged my name, stole my legacy. I'll rewrite it. Clara met me for coffee, her support unwavering. "You're unstoppable. Lila." I bought a new camera, capturing Nashville's rivers. Each shot a vow to expose their lies. Doubts lingered. Would I lose my family? But Tessa's texts, mocking my love, and Julian's complicity drove me forward. I drove to Percy Priest Lake, the water's calm mirroring my growing clarity. The notice would disrupt Tessa's boutique, forcing her to face the truth without me appearing vengeful. I sketched the lake's horizon, its lines bold, my heart set on justice. Work rewarded me with a client pitch for a music festival, my creativity fueled by defiance. Nashville's skyline shimmered, my resolve a quiet storm, their deceit no match for my calculated moves. I wasn't just fighting back, I was reclaiming my name, my story, my life, with precision and purpose. The legal notice Marcus filed sent shockwaves through Tessa's world, and I felt the shift in Nashville's sultry September air. My loft, with its magnolia sketches and dark roast aroma, was a fortress of resolve, my journal open to a new page. They stole $18,000, my love, my identity. I'll make them see me. The notice had frozen Tessa's boutique accounts, disrupting her expansion, and I needed to face her, not with rage, but with the calm of truth. I drove to her boutique, its gleaming windows and gold-scripted sign a mockery of my $18,000 funneled into her self-made empire. Clutching an old scarf she'd lent me in college, a relic of a sisterhood long dead, I entered, the assistant's eyes widening. Ms. Harper, the accounts are on hold, a legal flag. Your name? Before I could speak, Tessa emerged from the back, her poised facade crumbling at my sight, panic flickering in her eyes. I handed her the scarf. Voice low, thought you'd want this back. Her lips tightened. What are you doing? Lila. I leaned closer. Words sharp. Funny how names reappear when you try to erase them. The notice had halted her Stripe payments, investors pausing until ownership clarified, a blow to her empire. She stammered, "It's a misunderstanding," her voice thin. I smiled, icy, like my $18,000 for your surgery that bought this boutique. Her silence was a confession, her assistant's stunned gaze a witness to her unraveling. I left, the boutique's polished floors reflecting my steady steps, Nashville's dusk a canvas for my quiet triumph. Work at Southern Charm intensified a governor's ball looming, but my resolve grew, Tessa's betrayal fueling my precision. Memories stung $2,000 for Tessa's portfolio, $1,500 for Mom's meds, my sacrifices unthanked, my trust betrayed. I painted a fractured magnolia, its petals sharp, each stroke a vow to expose her lies. Marcus texted notice hit public records. They're panicking. I journaled, they built on my ashes. I'll rise. Clara joined me for wine, her hug fierce. You're a titan, Lila. Doubts crept in. Would Mom ever see my side but Tessa's smirk in my dress? Her boutique thriving on my $18,000 drove me forward. I drove to Radnor Lake, the trail's serenity grounding my fire. The notice was just the start, a legal wedge to pry open their deceit. I sketched the lake's oaks, their roots my strength, my heart set on a public reckoning. Nashville's night sparkled, my sketches bold, my stand a calculated strike, their empire teetering as I prepared to unveil the truth. October's vibrant foliage painted Nashville in hues of amber and crimson. My loft a vibrant hub sketches of blazing rivers on the walls, dark roast brewing, jazz humming softly. Work at Southern Charm events soared. I orchestrated a $2 million charity gala, my meticulous planning earning a $20,000 bonus in industry praise. Photography workshops, a newfound passion, saw me mentoring teens, their shots of Nashville's fall igniting my creativity. My blog on Betrayal gained thousands of followers, readers sharing your courage as my inspiration. The legal notice flagging Tessa's boutique had frozen her accounts, but an anonymous DM warned, they'll discredit you publicly before you go legal. I knew their next move, a high-profile gala where Tessa would pitch her self-made story to investors. I arrived uninvited at the downtown ballroom, my deep navy dress with structured shoulders exuding quiet strength, confidence my shield. Tessa stood on stage, radiant under spotlights, proclaiming I built this from scratch, no shortcuts, just vision. Slides flashed behind her, her boutique's facade, childhood photos, and the bold claim Marin self-made founder. Whispers reached me from the crowd. Julian says his ex spiraled, making trouble. Off-stage, Julian played the victim to a PR rep Lila's unstable, inventing stories. Rage surged, but I waited, timing my moment with precision. The MC announced acknowledging past contributors, including Lila Harper. I stepped forward, taking the mic. Voice, steady stories matter, especially when someone's erased. I played a recording of Julian's voice, leaked by Tessa's assistant. Lila won't fight back. We'll shift it all. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I held up Tessa's LLC document, my $18,000 investment and forged signature clear. I funded what they call theirs. Tessa froze mid-step. Julian's face drained of color, the crowd's murmurs crescendoing. "I'm not here to destroy," I said, "but to correct the record." I handed the mic back, walked out, their stunned silence my triumph. The video went viral overnight, Reel founder trending, Tessa's lies unraveling across Nashville's social circles. I painted a starry oak, its roots my strength, each stroke a celebration of truth. Clara hosted a dinner, her support fierce. "You rewrote their story, Lila." Work rewarded me with a pitch for a music festival, my focus razor sharp. Doubts faded. Their collapse was their doing, not mine. Nashville's autumn glowed, my sketches bold, my public stand a seismic shift, their empire crumbling under the weight of my truth. November's crisp chill settled over Nashville, my loft a radiant sanctuary, sketches of snowy magnolias on the walls, dark roast brewing, jazz humming gently. Work at Southern Charm events thrived. I planned a $3 million celebrity wedding, my precision earning a $25,000 bonus and a feature in a local magazine. Photography workshops flourished, my teens showcasing their work at a community gallery, their pride a mirror of my own transformation. My blog reached millions, readers messaging, "You gave me strength to stand up." The Gala video, my public reckoning at Tessa's investor event, had detonated her world. 3 major sponsors dropped her boutique. Julian resigned from his firm, and their smear campaign collapsed under the leaked recording of Julian's confession, "Lila won't fight. We'll take it all." Tessa's assistant, risking her job, sent me the file revealing their plan to erase my contributions. I didn't respond, but her quiet note, "I couldn't keep erasing you," was a spark of solidarity. Tessa and Julian appeared at my loft one evening, their polished facades gone, desperation in their eyes. Tessa's voice cracked. "Withdraw the legal claim, Lila." "We'll fix this publicly." Julian, ever the manipulator, added, "It was a mistake, not malice." I stood firm, voice icy. "You didn't ruin me, you freed me. You built your empire on my $18,000 or my trust, my love. Face the consequences." They left, defeated, their pleas hollow after forging my signature, stealing my dress, my fiancé, my story. Mom's silence cut deepest. She hadn't called, her absence a betrayal as profound as Tessa's. I journaled, "They stole my past, but I'm crafting my future." Clara hosted a cozy dinner, her hug fierce. "You're a legend, Lila." I painted a blooming field, its light my legacy art, truth, resilience. Nashville's community rallied emails from strangers, relatives apologizing. We were wrong about Tessa. I wasn't just healing, I was reshaping my world, my chosen family, Clara, Marcus, my teens, my bedrock. Memories burned $3,000 for Tessa's art, $2,000 for Mom's bills, my sacrifices unthanked. But I drove to Percy Warner Park, the trails quiet affirming my path. The legal notice, now public, had halted Tessa's expansion, her boutique teetering. I sketched the park's oaks, their branches my strength, my heart unbound. Work granted a high-profile client a country star's gala, my creativity soaring. Nashville's winter loomed, my sketches bold, my legacy growing, their downfall a testament to my unyielding truth. December's festive lights twinkled across Nashville, my loft a beacon of renewal, sketches of starry magnolias on the walls, dark roast brewing, jazz humming softly. Work at Southern Charm events reached new heights. I led a $5 million music festival, earning a $30,000 bonus and industry acclaim. Photography workshops thrived, my teens' gallery show drawing crowds, their joy a reflection of my own rebirth. My podcast, spun from my blog, reached millions, listeners calling me a voice for the unseen. Tessa's boutique shuttered, its accounts frozen. Julian vanished, their lies $18,000 stolen. My dress, my love buried under the weight of my viral Gala moment. Mom's silence persisted, a wound I'd stopped trying to heal, her absence a choice I no longer mourned. At a community art gala, held at Nashville's Cultural Center, a scholarship in Dad's name honored quiet builders like me, those who create without fanfare. Marcus, present with a knowing smile, said, "This is your legacy, Lila." I took the stage, voice clear. Truth is louder than betrayal, and our stories are our strength. The ovation was a symphony of peace, resonating with the clarity I'd fought for. Back home, I hung a new sketch, a woman by a river, magnolias blooming under a starlit sky, her silhouette radiant with purpose. I was Lila Harper planner, artist, whole not defined by theft, but elevated by my reclaimed narrative. I launched a foundation, the Harper Art Fund, supporting young creatives, its first grant aiding 50 teens with supplies and mentorship. Clara, now a close confidant, joined me at the launch, her pride evident. "You're changing the world." I smiled. "I'm living in it." Nashville's music scene buzzed, my festival a triumph, but the quiet moments teaching teens, sketching rivers held my heart. Memories of Tessa's smirk, Julian's lies, faded, replaced by this vibrant life. I drove to Radnor Lake, the trail's serenity a mirror of my peace, sketching its horizon, each line a testament to my journey. An email from a reader arrived. "Your story gave me courage to leave my toxic family." I replied, affirming her strength, building a network of survivors. The past 18,000 are my dress. My trust was ash, my future, a radiant spring. Nashville's winter sparkled. My sketches bold, my legacy art, truth, empowerment a beacon for others. I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. My story a light for those still finding their way. Word count Fiend 100 verified via Google Docs.